Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello friends, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. That's me, Debsy. Bloop. Okay everybody, I'm in the kitchen as usual, and you can't see it, but it's raining. It's raining a lot. Tonight I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be putting out my recap of the Housewives of Beverly Hills season 12, episode 3. I thought going into this week that the main topic of the whole thing would be Sutton and possibly Crystal because of what happened last week. And I was right. So at the start of the show, everybody was still at La Quinta. They were over at Kyle's. Everybody except for Crystal, Diana, and Sutton. And everybody was talking about what was going on with Sutton. Why did that happen? What triggered her? So Garcelle called Crystal, and Crystal had said, okay, I'll come over for 10 minutes. Went over, basically told them she felt kind of triggered because last year she felt like they were all in this, they all had waged this campaign against her to just negate her feelings. So she had put that out there, but then one of them had said something about Sutton, and Crystal had then come back and said that last year Sutton had said some very dark things, and then left it at that. She threw Sutton under the bus, got in the bus, drove over her, and then looked to make sure she was there, and then backed up over her. So she had said, last year, Garcelle, you weren't there. Kyle, you were there, but you were really drunk. You won't remember any of this. She said some very dark things, and then just refused to say anything, which is now making me think, is Crystal a backstabber? Because to me, it sure is seeming like she might be a backstabber. I mean, in the episode before, she was saying, I'm being very transparent. I'm going to let you know that Kyle was saying this and that. Meanwhile, she's not there. Sutton's not there. And she's saying, she said some very dark things. Then refused to say what it was. So everybody, when that happens and somebody says, listen, this person said some very dark, maybe says some very disturbing things, what are you going to think? I'm going to think that they said, if that person's not going to say what they said, I'm going to think the worst. I'm going to think, oh my gosh, worst case scenario in my head. I always think that way. And that's what Garcelle especially was saying. Well, what was it that was said? Because is it something that was said about race that could affect my friendship with Sutton or what? She was like, why can't you just say what it is? And she just refused to say anything and just smirked and left it at that. And I was like, oh, you know what, Crystal, I was really starting to kind of like you here. So that's it. We left it at that. Most of the show was taken up with the discussion about that. So a little bit later on in the episode, Sutton had a showing. Sutton had like a little soiree at her store. She brought in this French designer who was held up at the border for like pandemic reasons or something. The one who she had mentioned in the first episode. He finally was able to come in. She had some of his clothes there. He designed her outfit. I did not like the outfit one bit, not even a little bit. So it was like a backward. It was like one of those things where the back is in the front. The front looked nice. The back looked ridiculously dumb. There we go. That's why I can't wear couture. Well, that plus I'm not a millionaire and I'm fat. So there's that. So they go in there and everybody's, air kissing and all this and that. So Garcelle brings what Crystal said up to Sutton. And Sutton was like, well, I don't want to go back to how it was, and we have a nice thing now and blah, 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 this and that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. And Garcelle says, well, you just need to watch out for your new friends. Garcelle knows something is fishy here. And then meanwhile, Crystal is talking with the other ladies. Crystal's talking with all the other ladies, I believe, except for, no, Garcelle was maybe over there by that time. So they're talking, and I believe it was Garcelle or Kyle, one of the ladies, had said, well, Sutton's here, why don't we bring Sutton over? And I don't know, for me, I don't know if anybody else caught on to it, but Crystal kind of gave like a look. I don't know what, it was kind of an odd look whenever they said, Sutton, come on over. And I don't know, it wasn't, I can't even replay it on my face, because at first, as soon as I saw it, I was like, what is that look for? Does she not want her over here? And just 10 minutes before, she was like hugging Sutton and everything. Girl, that's fishy. So she comes over, and they're talking about, once again, they replayed it, and they said, Crystal said that you had said something very dark. And that's another thing. Before, whenever Crystal said, she had said, what she had said was very dark. And people were wondering what you meant by dark. And once again, Crystal was like, well, I can use that word. I mean, dark, it's just one syllable. It only has one vowel in it. I'm not going to change my word, just a simple single word, blah, blah, this and that. So they're talking about it. And Sutton was just like, Sutton didn't care. Like, honestly, Sutton had said, well, I don't want to relive this from last year. I don't want to go back to what was. I want to move forward in our friendship and blah, blah, blah. And now listen, if somebody had come up and said that I said something dark or problematic and I didn't, I would be like, wait a minute. No. We're going to talk about this. We're not going to like just let it be. You're not going to lie on me and then be like expecting me not to say something. I'm going to say something. I don't know. I thought it was really odd. I don't know. Like, I don't know who to believe in this situation. They're both acting really odd. Like, why? Because Sutton had said, Sutton has said in her little confessional, I did not say anything that is wrong or problematic or anything. I don't know what she's talking about. But then when she gets in front of the cameras and everybody else, she's like, let's not go back there. I don't want to relive this. Girl, let's just drop this. Now, if that was me, and somebody was saying I said something and I know I didn't, no, ma'am, I'm not going to drop this. Hell no. And Kyle had said off camera, she said, I was there. I remember everything. She didn't say anything. So I don't know. I don't know who to believe. Crystal seems like a snake, but why the hell is Sutton not saying, no, let's talk about this? Hopefully next week we get into it. And if Sutton did not say something dark and problematic, then she'll come out and be like, no, I didn't. This is what I said. And if she did, then we find out, because I don't know. This is driving me nuts. Who's telling the truth? You never know. So there was that. That was the whole big thing for this week. A couple other things. It was real sad. I'm not a fan of Lisa Rinna at all. I've made that painfully aware. I'm a vocal non-lover of Lisa Rinna. However, it was in this episode, her mother had a stroke, and they were going to see her to have her put in hospice care. And I don't know if it's going to be next week or not, but her mother Lois had passed, and oh, and it's sad, and it's just very, very, very sad. Like, I am not a fan of Lisa Rinna, but anybody's mother who passes away, and anybody who has to have a loved one go through like hospice care and just decline like that, ugh, my heart does go out to her on that. And Lois had her mother Lois had been on the show quite a few times. She was a lovely lady. I enjoyed her on there very much. So that was sad, I will say. My heart went out to her on that. That was very sad. Okay, the other thing that pissed me the hell off. Now listen, Erica. So, Erica's husband, Erica's separated husband, soon to be, who knows when, ex-husband, he was disbarred. He was permanently disbarred by the state of California, and he was ordered to pay back the millions to the victims. Oh, isn't Miss Erica Jane getting out here saying some bullshit about how, wait a minute, we don't even know if these victims are really victims. Maybe they were paid. Who's to say that they weren't paid? Allegedly, they weren't paid. And the ladies were like, are you saying that you think they were paid and they're just lying? And she's like, I'm saying it's a possibility. Oh, bitch, listen. Burn victims and victims of an airplane crash. Orphans, widows, burn victims. Okay, everybody have a great night. We're almost to the weekend. And remember, if nobody's told you I love you, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a shit show. So everybody needs all of that. So have a great day, and I love you. Bye, guys.